Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something I think we can all relate to. That feeling of being completely overwhelmed by a to-do list that just never ends. But we're going to break down how these tiny, almost invisible routines can actually lead to some truly remarkable results.
I mean, does this feel familiar? Especially if you're a busy parent, oh man, you know this feeling. It's like you're being pulled in a million different directions all at once. You're constantly juggling everything, and you always feel like you're just one step behind. And I just want to say, if that's you, you are so not alone in this.
And this quote from The Busy Budgeter just hits it right on the head. This feeling, a lot of people call it mom guilt. It's so universal, it's practically a rite of passage. It doesn't matter what you do for a living or where you live, it's just there. It is such a heavy burden to carry, and you know what? There has to be a better way.
Right, so this is where the overwhelm really kicks into high gear. We are constantly just bombarded with these messages, Go big or go home. Massive action leads to massive results. And all that does is add to the pressure. It just feeds this nasty cycle of feeling like we are never, ever doing enough.
Okay, but what if the secret to actually getting ahead, to finally feeling like you're in control, what if it isn't some massive life overhaul? What if it's something much, much smaller? We are about to dig into a really powerful idea from James Clear's fantastic book, Atomic Habits, that is going to completely flip this whole idea on its head.
Okay, here we go. This is it. This is the core concept, that big aha moment that can honestly change everything. It's all about the simple but incredibly profound power of just getting 1% better.
Now, I know what you're thinking. 1%, that sounds kind of small, right? Almost too simple to actually work. But the math doesn't lie. If you get just 1% better each day for a whole year, the final result is staggering. You end up 37 times better. That's not just a little improvement. That is the magic of compounding, right there.
It really is like compound interest for your life. Think about it like this. You start with a tiny little snowball, and as you roll it, it just picks up a little more snow and a little more and a little more, and pretty soon it's huge. It's not about one giant push. It's all about that steady, consistent accumulation of tiny improvements that ends up creating something truly remarkable.
So here is the huge mental shift we all need to make. We have to stop being so obsessed with the goal, with that finish line way off in the distance. Instead, we need to fall in love with the process that gets us there, because ultimately, it's your systems, not your goals, that are going to determine your success.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we build these amazing systems in our own lives? Well, the book gives us this super simple but really powerful 4-step framework that, seriously, anyone can follow.
So let's break these 4 laws down, one by one. Think of them as your own personal operating manual, a guide to building a life that feels way more intentional and a whole lot less chaotic.
All right, law number 1, make it obvious. This is all about designing your environment to work for you, not against you. So you want to drink more water? Don't hide the water bottle in a cabinet. Put it right on your desk, right on your nightstand. You want to go for a run in the morning? Lay out your running clothes the night before. You're basically making the cues for your good habits impossible to miss.
And this visual schedule, it is a perfect example of this in action. It takes what could be a really complex routine and breaks it down into these super clear visual steps. There's no guesswork. Anyone, even a little kid, can look at this and know exactly what they're supposed to do next. It just makes it so obvious. Okay, next up. Make it attractive. This is kind of like the old spoonful of sugar trick, right? Our brains are just hardwired to chase rewards and pleasure, so we can totally hijack that system. You just pair a habit you need to do with something you really want to do. Like, say you only let yourself listen to your absolute favorite podcast while you're folding laundry. Suddenly, folding laundry doesn't seem so bad, does it? But here's the thing. Even if a habit is obvious and attractive, it's not going to stick if it feels like climbing a mountain every single time. And that brings us to law number 3. Make it easy. The idea here is to reduce the friction. The less energy a new habit takes, the more likely you are to actually do it.
And this is where the famous 2-minute rule comes in. The whole point is, when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Now, this isn't about lowering your standards, not at all. It's about making it so easy to start that you can't say no. The goal isn't to run a marathon on day 1. The goal is to just master the art of showing up. Just put on your running shoes. That's it. That's the win for the day.
And that leads us to our final, and maybe the most crucial law: make it satisfying. See, our brains are wired to repeat actions that give us an immediate reward. You know that little rush of satisfaction you get when you check something off your to-do list? That's basically the secret sauce. That immediate feeling of success is what tells your brain, hey, do that again. It's what makes a habit actually stick.
All right, so we've got the theory down. We have the 4 laws. Now let's see how this all comes together in the real world and how it can create some really incredible results, especially when we're talking about kids.
Okay, check this out. This classroom arrival routine is just a masterclass in applying these rules. It takes what could be a totally chaotic process, getting a bunch of kids settled in the morning, and breaks it down into these simple, obvious, and super easy steps. It empowers the kids to know exactly what to do, and they get to start their day feeling successful.
And you know, for a kid, a predictable routine like this isn't restrictive at all. Just the opposite, actually. It creates this wonderful sense of safety and security in a world that can feel really big and chaotic. It gives them the confidence they need to explore, to learn, and to just thrive.
And this picture says it all, doesn't it? This is the result: happy, engaged kids who are learning and having fun. And it's all possible because there's a well-designed system in the background that isn't about controlling them, but about setting them free to succeed.
So that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? How do we take all these amazing ideas and actually apply them to our own crazy, chaotic lives without making it feel like just another chore on our already packed to-do list?
Okay, let's talk about a popular one, the whole 5 a.m. club trend. Look, for some people, waking up that early is a total game changer. It gives them quiet time, they get ahead of the day, awesome. But for others, say a new parent, it's just a recipe for total exhaustion and burnout. The point is, there is no one-size-fits-all. It's all about what works for your life, not what some influencer on the internet says you should be doing.
And that's really the most important thing to remember. The goal here isn't perfection. It's not about finding the perfect routine and copying it. It's about taking these principles, these 4 laws, and using them like a toolkit to build a system that truly serves you and your family.
So I'll leave you with this question. What is one tiny 2-minute routine you could start tomorrow that might just make your day a little bit better? Just one small thing. Start there. Because remember, these small habits, they don't just add up, they compound. And they can create a ripple effect of positive change that can absolutely transform your life.